GPT Image 2 just dropped, and honestly, it might be the best image generation model out right now. I tested it across real use cases, so let's get into what it can actually do. But before we dive in, let me quickly show you the main features that make this model different. Everything you're about to see was generated on OpenArt AI, where you can access all the AI models under one subscription. The link is in the description. GPT Image 2 comes with thinking mode, and that's the big headline feature. Instead of just generating right away, the model actually reasons through your prompt before it outputs anything. To show you what I mean, I typed a difficult math question as the prompt, and the result genuinely shocked me. It gave the exact steps to solve it. The output is more precise, more structured, and it handles complex prompts way better than before. It also supports multi-image coherent sets. I uploaded one close-up image of a man and described a storyboard. It generated up to 8 images in one go, and the model kept the character and objects consistent across all of them. Manga pages, storyboards, poster families, social graphic sets in multiple aspect ratios, all in one shot. No other model does this cleanly right now. And then there's non-Latin text rendering, which has gotten a lot better. Japanese, Korean, Chinese, Hindi, Bengali, the characters are accurate, the spacing is right, and it actually looks like native text. That alone opens up a huge range of use cases. Alright, let's get into it. To access GPT Image 2, go to OpenArt, click Image, then change the model to GPT Image 2. So first is fake screenshots. I used this prompt where I described a full desktop YouTube page in dark mode, a real video title, view counts, a comment section, and proper UI layout. Everything flat and pixel perfect like an actual screenshot. I changed the aspect ratio to 16:9, set the quality to high, and hit generate. The result is insane. The video title is sharp, the layout looks exactly like YouTube, the comments read cleanly, and there's zero distortion in the UI. It literally looks like someone just took a screenshot on their laptop. I tried the same thing with a Twitter X timeline. I described a dark mode desktop view with a main tweet, engagement numbers, a reply, and a trend sidebar. All the text came out perfectly readable, the 3-column layout held, and the verified badge, handle, and timestamp were all in the right place. This is the kind of thing that used to take Photoshop and a lot of patience. Second is restaurant menus. The prompt asked for a full casual dining menu, starters, mains, desserts, beverages, with dish names, prices, and proper layout, all flat like a printed PDF. And the output is clean. Every price is right aligned, every dish name is legible, and the whole thing actually looks like something you'd pick up at a real restaurant. Third is handwriting, and this one surprised me. I described a casual notebook page in blue ballpoint pen with a personal paragraph written in natural, slightly imperfect human handwriting. Uneven spacing, slight slant, wavy baseline, and ink pressure variation. The result looks completely real. The ink absorption, the small inconsistencies, the page curvature. You would not look at that and think AI made it. Then I tried a different prompt where I described a cursive pencil essay titled "The History of Money in the World" on an aged, slightly worn notebook page. Multiple paragraphs, consistent cursive style, faint ruled lines, subtle watermarks. It reads like a real student's notes from decades ago. Now moving on to the fourth, which is multi-panel comics and manga pages. This is where thinking mode and the multi-image feature really show their value. I used a prompt where I described a full-color shonen manga page with 4 to 6 panels. A young warrior discovering a crystal sword called the Blade of Eternal Flame inside a mountain temple, with speed lines, energy bursts, and close-up emotional shots. The output looks like a real manga page. The panels are dynamic, the text in the speech bubbles is readable, and the energy effects land exactly the way you'd expect in a shonen fight scene. I also tried a 6-panel superhero versus villain fight sequence. I described a nighttime city rooftop. 2 characters with defined looks kept consistent across all 6 panels, with dialogue and sound effects written into the frames. The character consistency across every single panel is what stands out. The hero's suit stays the same, the villain's coat and red eyes stay the same, and that final split frame close-up with both faces worked perfectly. Let's move on to the 5th one, which is marketing ads. The prompt here asked for a premium skincare beauty ad featuring a glow lip balm in a glass dropper bottle, a young model interacting with the product, and clean typography with the brand name, tagline, and product details all baked into the image, and the result looks like a real editorial ad. The text, glow lip balm, hydrating shine, lightweight, nourishing, radiant, all came out sharp and correctly placed. This is the kind of output that normally takes a photographer, a designer, and a stock photo license to put together. 6th is infographics and educational explainers. I tried a prompt to create a clean, text-style infographic showing how large language models work, laid out left to right with 5 steps, each in a neat box with short labels, all connected by arrows and a clear title on top. The result was really solid. The text was sharp, the arrows looked clean, spacing felt balanced, and overall, it looked like something a professional design team would make. If you create educational content, carousels, or newsletter visuals, this is definitely worth trying. The 7th is YouTube thumbnails. I wrote a prompt describing a split screen before and after transformation thumbnail. Bold 30 days text in the center, cool desaturated tones on the left, warm golden tones on the right, and a glow edge dividing the frame. The result is exactly what you'd expect from a high-performing viral thumbnail. The text is bold and readable on mobile. The emotional contrast between both sides is strong, and the color grading feels intentional. It looks like a Mr. Beast-style thumbnail, and it was one prompt. 8th is product mockups and packaging. I described a premium coffee brand packaging, a matte resealable pouch, and a matching box, with the brand name Ember Roast. Full product details, tasting notes, a brewing guide, barcode, QR code, and certification icons, all perfectly legible. The output is detailed, every line of text on that pouch is readable and correctly placed. The matte texture, the zipper, the degassing valve, it all looks real. If you're an indie brand or a dropshipper, you can prototype your entire packaging before spending a single penny on a designer. Let's move on to the 9th one, which is UI and app mockups. I used a prompt where I described a full productivity dashboard in the style of Notion or Linear, sidebar navigation, task table, metric cards, a weekly progress chart, and an activity feed, all flat and front-facing like a real product screenshot. The output holds up. The task table has readable columns, the metric cards show clean numbers, and the overall layout looks like something a product team would actually pitch. 10th is localized content. This is where the non-Latin text rendering really shows what's changed. I took the same English newspaper layout and wrote a replace all text with natural, fluent Chinese newspaper-style writing, preserving layout, column structure, and typographic realism prompt. Then I repeated it for Japanese and Hindi. All 3 outputs kept the layout intact, and the text came out correct and readable. Older models couldn't pull that off without breaking the characters. I also tried standalone non-Latin generations. I described a Shibuya street at night with a Japanese billboard, a Seoul subway train with a Korean route display, a Chinese calligraphy studio with a hanging scroll, and a Dhaka tea stall with a hand-painted Bangla sign. Every single one came back with accurate, legible text that actually fits the environment it was placed in. And the last is movie posters. I wrote a prompt describing a premium sci-fi poster, a lone astronaut floating near a damaged spacecraft in deep space, reaching toward a mysterious signal with the tagline, "We were never alone," the title Last Signal at the bottom, and small film credits in proper poster format. The result looks like it came out of a Hollywood marketing department. The lighting, the scale, the typography, all of it landed. This is the kind of output that usually takes a full design team to produce. Alright, that's it for this one. GPT Image 2 is genuinely one of the most capable image models I've tested, and every single output you saw was generated on OpenArt. If you want to try it yourself, the link is in the description below.